right, welcome everybody to the channel. I'm really excited today because we are talking to Mary Carol and Scott. Even though it says Noreen, it is Scott that's on the video here. So very excited. And we're going to be talking to them about their company, Southern Oaks SUV. So if you've never heard of Southern Oaks SUV, this is the time to watch this video and learn all about their airport transportation business that they've had running for the last 2.5, 3 years. So welcome to the channel, Mary Carol. Welcome to the channel, Scott. How are you today?
Thanks, David. I love being here.
Thanks, David.
Thanks for having
Doing
us.
great this morning.
Awesome. So let's start with you guys. So Mary Carol, you live in the Villages. How long you've been there now?
I've lived here for 2 years, actually 2 years this month. And we settled on our house in the great village of St. Catherine in July of 21.
Yes. And Scott, I think you're in St. Catherine too for about the same time frame?
Same time frame.
Same time frame. And, you know, if my memory's correct, Scott, we got a drive from you to and from the airport when it wasn't even Southern Oaks SUV. It was you doing car rides, right?
It was just me. It was known as Driven by Scott.
Driven by
one
Scott.
car, one driver back then.
Awesome. So now we are, what, 2 years later, and you've grown the business, the two of you, to quite a business. Like, how many drivers do you have now?
We have 6 total. One of them is a snowbird, and we have 3 vehicles, and we are looking to expand that as our snowbird driver, Mark, says he's coming back with his own SUV. So we are always expanding the business, and we're right now at 3 vehicles, soon to be 4.
So there's obviously a need for the business, and you have taken that opportunity and differentiated yourself. Mary Carol, one of the things that I notice on the website is that because the name is Southern Oaks SUV, it's important to note that the vehicles you use are SUVs. Why is that an advantage to you?
That's an advantage to our riders because when they're riding in an SUV, they're riding in a newer model SUV that is just absolutely comfortable and reliable for them. So they know that they're going to have a vehicle that's large enough to fit them and their bags. And it's really just a touch of luxury for them. And
they don't share the vehicle with other passengers. It's just them.
Oh, never. Yeah. This is a private door-to-door car service. We're not a shuttle. We don't run around and pick up other people on our way to or from the airport. It's always just that one person. We also, as drivers, the service that we provide is that we follow their flights. And so we know if they're coming in a little bit late or a little bit early or, greatly on either end. And we do our best to accommodate and make sure that they're not left stranded at the airport.
That must be a challenge for you because especially through the last 2 years of, flight cancellations, delays, and COVID and whatever it might be, to schedule that must have been a bit of a nightmare, but I know that you guys successfully pulled it off. So talk a little bit about that. Is it more just the attention to detail that makes you different than everyone else?
Yeah, it really does. We only schedule so many rides a day. We add a buffer in between the rides so that we can accommodate, late flights, delayed flights, canceled flights. And because we have, more than, a couple drivers, we have, as many as 6 and several vehicles, we can often swap out drivers and vehicles for different riders depending on how the flights are coming. So it works really well. And as you said, we try to pull it off flawlessly. I think that we do. Yeah. It really helps our riders, and it really has put ourselves on the map by being able to do that.
Excellent. So I'm just going to pull up your website real quick so that people know what we're talking about. Let's see here. Share this one. So this is the Southern Oaks SUV website, the South Village's premier all SUV private airport transportation. So as you can see, the vehicles are SUVs. And one of the things that's really important to understand is that you can book a ride right on the website That's correct, right?
Yes, if you'll scroll up, David, you'll see the link, request a ride right there. And that's how we take all our reservations. Riders seem to really like that. They can request a ride at their leisure, ensure that they have all their, information in there correct. And it starts the process of them booking a ride with us. After they book a ride, they'll receive an email that, we receive your ride request. And there's constant communication going back and forth between us and the potential rider. And our riders really seem to like that.
So one of the things I do notice on here is that Tampa is now a destination. That must be fairly new because I've flown into Orlando and Sanford, but I haven't seen Tampa. When did you start doing the Tampa route?
I think we've always done it, but we've just lately, in the last year or so, started promoting Tampa and putting it on our website. Tampa is like the hidden gem of the area, that it's a great airport. It's, depending on traffic, it's not so hard to get to. And they have a fair amount of flights that to destinations people are looking for. So it's kind of a hidden gem that we are seeing more and more Tampa riders as we evolve the business.
So what would the distance be between, say, Sawgrass Groves and the Tampa airport compared to Orlando or Sanford?
Orlando's about an hour. Now with Magnuson open, it's a few minutes under that. Sanford's about an hour and 20, and that's about the same for Tampa.
So about an hour and 20, because I've never actually looked at the Tampa airport as an option, but now that we're talking about this might open up some doors for me as far as flights going south. So here is your fleet. So you've got a Honda Pilot, you've got a Cadillac XT5, you've got a Telluride EX. So these are all very nice vehicles for people to ride in. And I think that really separates you from other car transportation services, because you sort of never know what you're going to get when you call up these businesses. With you, you're putting it right on your website to say, this is what we drive.
Mm-hmm. Well, and not only
Correct,
that, David, we're also commercially licensed and insured, which also sets us apart from some of the other drivers in the area. So that's really important for our riders to know, to have that level of comfort, to know that we are taking this business seriously and we're taking their ride seriously.
Absolutely. And people don't often think about that when they book a ride. So it's good to mention it, because you never know when an accident happens. You want to make sure that you and your belongings and the people that you're with are, covered in an accident. So that's great information to share. Let's talk about your drivers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, David, especially with Florida no-fault insurance laws, you do not want to ride with a vehicle that's not insured.
Right. So we got Scott, and we've got your wife, Noreen. Is she doing some of the driving for you?
Occasionally she'll drive for us.
Mary Carol. And there's Chris. Chris has given me a ride 2 or 3 times. I know Chris. That's your husband.
Yep. Chris is our Sanford guy.
That's why I get rides from Chris, because
he loves that Sanford route.
Awesome. And then Mark is a new driver. I don't think I've had the opportunity to ride with Mark. And Chris. Awesome. So yeah, you've grown quite a lot in the last 2 years. That's excellent. So
I think we have one more driver down there. We should have Blaine as well.
Let me just keep scrolling. Oh, Chris, Blaine.
There he is.
I didn't go down far enough.
Yeah.
It's nice that you tell which village they're in too, because I think that people can relate to different people from different villages, and that's important. So we got Richmond covered, and St. Catherine, Case and Hammock. That's awesome.
Well, I think even more important than that, than knowing which specific village, it's really kind of pointing out that we're all villagers, just like the people that we're driving.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. And that's very relatable, right? When you when you get into a car with someone who lives in the villages, and knows where they're going, knows sort of the routes to take, that's going to not only save time because they don't have to worry about where they're going with a GPS. They can actually talk to the consumer about, you know, when are you coming back and where are you going, and, you know, that type of thing, and maybe tell them about the entertainment that's happening that week or whatever might be happening in the area. So that's great.
Yep.
People are going to want to know about rates. So let's just briefly talk about rates. So this video is being recorded in May of 2023, which means that the rates that are on your site are accurate as of May of 2023 and may not be accurate when someone watches this video. But as of right now, here are the rates. And to Orlando, you've got $100 for a single, a double rider, 110, 125 for 3 riders, and 135 for 4 riders. Again, you can see Sanford and Tampa here. I think what's really important to understand is that there are other services that charge less money, but when you start putting 2 or 3 people into those types of rides, it quickly gets more expensive, right? You go from $40 or $50 per person, all of a sudden you're at $150 to $200 to get on one of these other services that are more shuttle services that you're sharing the occupancy rather than having your own personal car for yourself and your family. Is that correct?
Yes, and we find that, you know, we have a lot of ex-shuttle riders that have taken our service, and, you know, and they just don't go back to the shuttles. And, you know, and bear in mind that, you know, we have all premium SUVs, all have, you know, they're all leather, all upgraded SUVs. And, you know, we'll always be around, where some options, you know, they're here today and gone tomorrow, but we're always here. We have a lot of drivers and a lot of vehicles. So for the most part, we can accommodate, you know, nearly all requests that come in from the South Villages.
So the easiest way for someone to reach out to you is really through the website, right? That's where you want all the information to start and end, is at the website, because then you've got a written record of when the booking is and where you're going and all that type of thing. You don't want people contacting you directly. That doesn't make sense anymore. I know that, Scott, when you were driven by Scott, that was okay, but I don't think that's okay anymore, right? I think really you got to drive everyone through the website. So we're going to post the links to the website in this video and in the description, so anyone can find that. So I guess really what I want to say is congratulations on the growth. Congratulations on the business. You guys have really taken what used to be sort of a hobby to a full-fledged business that is just dynamite. And I recommend you to everyone that I talk to. So hopefully the growth continues, and, you know, everywhere you go, we see Southern Oaks SUV driving to and from the airports, which is fabulous. Any further words that you want to talk to me about, or questions, concerns?
So, David, I have to tell you, we just love our riders. We do this because we enjoy talking with our riders and our fellow villagers. And so, and especially the ones that have been with us, you know, for so long, since Scott was just driven by Scott, you know, we appreciate our riders so much. They are so fun. It's so fun to talk to and so fun to drive. And it makes doing what we do a real joy.
And you probably have a great number of repeat clients, and that has driven the referral business. I don't think that you really are out there advertising in newspapers or ads, because of the service you do is complementary to a repeat and referral type business, and you've done it so well that people are knocking on your door, right?
A lot of truth to that. Yeah, we, you know, when you know, I always say the best, you know, a good ride is one you can walk away from. You know, that's just my old aviation days coming through. But yeah, we have a lot of repeat riders. They really enjoy our service, and they, you know, they pass that on to their friends and family, and you know, and new villagers that they come across, and that has grown our business.
Excellent. That's great. All right. So in closing, we will post the website in this video. You'll see it is a link for people that are watching the video and want more information on this and other information, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, like us, share us. That would be great for the channel and great to grow it. And we're hoping that this video will bring you guys more business and keep the Southern Oaks SUV business growing and growing and growing in the future. So thank you both for attending, and I really appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, David.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We appreciate your
day,
support.
guys.
Thank you, David.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.